Hello and welcome to this Kali Fundamentals lesson. I'm your host Robert Smith and I'm excited to be here with you today. So we've gone over some things like commands to navigate the file system, some very high level overviews of permissions, things of that nature. But you may be wondering, there's still a lot of commands out there. There's some things I may not know. What are some additional things that I could learn that'll help me to get around Linux and Kali and things of that nature? Well, today we're going to jump into those things. We're going to get some basic understanding of some useful commands, and we're going to see how those commands could be used. And again, we'll continue to build on this foundation that we've put together and go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my copy of Kali that I've installed here, and you'll see that I've got a terminal opened up, and we're currently in the desktop folder. And so with that in mind, I've got a few things I wanted to show you. So you may be thinking, I have an internet connection. I can look up commands and understand what they do, but what happens if you don't? Or what if you just want to see, a quick, easy lookup of a command or something like that? Well, I'd like to introduce you to the man command or manual. So when you type man in a command like ping, let's say, it pulls up a bunch of information. And as you can see here, it gives you the name of the command at the top, a quick synopsis, it gives you a short description, some options, and as you scroll through down towards the bottom of all these different things that it provides, it's got packet details and some additional information. So a lot of cool stuff there. Now, there's multiple ways to use this. We can hit Q, and that takes us back to our desktop here. We'll do a quick clear to bring that back up. Now, we talked about cat or concatenate. So you'll see over here to the left, I've got this hello bash file that I've created. If I type cat and do hello, it shows me the output for that file. So as you can see here, I've got some line that I've written here for starting a bash script. And then I use this command called echo. So you might be wondering, well, what does echo do? What does that mean? Well, if we do man echo, like we were looking at earlier, as you can see, it displays the name, gives you some descriptions. It says here it displays a line of text. This can be useful if we're writing a bash script and we need an output or we want it to reference something and produce an output from like the system or something of that nature. We can do that using the echo command. So that's going to be useful for you when you start working on scripting and things of that nature and you're jumping into trying to make some more complex ways of doing things or simplifying things and things of that nature. Now, you can easily use LeafPad down here and edit text and do things of that nature and edit files. But let's say I'm here on this desktop folder and I just want to jump straight into that text file or that bash file. I can do nano and hello. And bam, there we are. I've got my text editor open. Now, there's several different types of text editors that you can use. I like to use nano. Some folks like VI, some other things like that. But in this case, this is what I like to use. Now, as you can see here, I typed echo and then hello world. Let's say I want to make it a little more exciting and happy. So I do hello world and 2 exclamation points here on the end. As you can see down at the bottom, it gives you some commands that you can use. You typically hold control and hit the letter. So I'll hit control O to write out. And I'm going to do hello new. Hit enter. Select yes by hitting Y, and then I'll hit Control X to exit the text editor. And now, when I do cat hello new, we'll see that that's made the change for me. And then from there, I can do a quick bash hello new. And bam, there it is, hello world, using that echo command. So that's awesome, right? Now, we know that we're root. We'll jump into the next command here. So I am root. Let's say that I'm a different user or you're a pen tester, security tester, you've gotten into a system, you want to know what permissions the user account has. Well, you can use the command called ID, and that gives you an output of the permissions that the account that you're currently logged into has. So that's a good, useful thing to have. And then let's say you need to install something. So you notice, okay, I'm the root user, I can install new programs, applications, but how much space do I have? How much information can I really store on this drive right now? So DF will show us the free disk space or the disk space that's free on the system and where everything's at. And it gives you this nice layout here of what's been used on the right, what it's mounted on as far as the share, what have you, available space, used space, etc. And so that's a quick and easy way to do some troubleshooting or check to see how much free space you have. Now, I'm going to introduce you to what I think is one of the most important commands, which is passwd, which is password for short. And when we hit enter, it asks me for a new password. So I'm going to go ahead and update that. Oops, looks like we made a mistake. Well, we can't see what we're doing, right? But that's okay. If I had done that correctly, what it would have done is updated my password. And that's very much important when you inherit a system, when you work on a system day to day, and maybe you need to change the password or something of that nature, or you don't want the default credentials on something. Then in a Linux environment, you can use that passwd command, and it will allow you to change the password. So I know that was a lot of information, but those are the commands that we want to start with and the things that we want to learn to use. Those are going to be fundamental in helping you to not only edit files and produce better scripts and things of that nature, but they're going to give you that foundational tool set to continue to move deeper and deeper into your understanding of not just Kali, but Linux platforms as a whole. So now that we've gone through that together, let's do a quick check on learning. Which command describes and shows you how to use other commands? Now, thinking about that, remember, df is going to show us disk space that's free. So df down here. Nano was our text editor. So that's going to allow me to edit files, edit content, make scripts, do things of that nature. Cat allowed me to pull the output out of a file and display it in the terminal like we did cat hello new or cat hello, and that showed us all of the content of the file. So the last choice that we have here is man, which is short for manual. That shows us what a command does, a description of the command, and gives us a lot of good information on what we can do with respect to different switches and things of that nature with those commands that we put after man. So in summary, in this very brief lesson today, we discussed the following: the man command, the cat command, echo, nano, ID, df, and password, or passwd for short. All of those are important because man is giving us instructions on how to use commands. Cat gives us outputs if we don't want to open the file or look in a text editor. Echo is going to allow us to do some things like write scripts, display information, output information, so it's a great command to have in your tool chest. Nano is great for editing text files, but it's not the only text editor out there. ID is great for understanding permissions. DF is good for understanding disk space utilization and where we might be able to clean some things up. And passwd is fundamental in ensuring that we change our password or that we don't use default credentials on a system. So I know that that was brief, but I enjoyed having you here today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.